Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today. You know you want to watch. On today's show, we have Josh Taylor, Nedra Bradley, and a special appearance by Tanisha Clark. You're going to want to watch this.
Thank you to the teachers for encouraging me when I wasn't sure where to start, for seeing my potential even when I didn't, for inspiring me to reach farther and try harder.
Thank you, MCC. You helped me change my future.
Find your wings at MCC.
And we are here with the wonderful Mr. Josh Taylor. How
Hello.
are you doing?
I'm good.
Everything going well?
Yes, I'm back. I hadn't been on the show in a while.
I know. And in fact, you didn't even know you were on it until I passed you in the hall.
I found out yesterday. Hey, you're on the show.
You're on the show. Now,
That's
you are the instructor in the broadcast communications program, right?
Yeah, it's great. We don't call it that anymore.
Sorry.
We call it media production.
Pardon me, media
right.
production, but it was broadcast.
It used to be broadcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Media production, that's the problem with when you're here over,
I still do that.
millennia. Media production, you're in charge of that.
That's right.
And
that's
the only
my
instructor.
That's my day-to-day. What I normally do is in class with these guys.
Okay.
Doing that.
And then you're also the division chair.
For the business division.
Okay.
Which means I am the supervisor for a bunch of other programs on campus, which
That
I
don't seem
know
related
very
at
little
all.
about. No, and that's kind of the business division. We have our health ed division, which is all the nursing and the rad tech and all that stuff kind of fits together. And then you have the industrial division, which is the welding and the truck driving and all that kind of fits together. And then they take everything else and
it's left over.
put it in the business
pile it
division
and give it to you.
But I mean, some of it makes sense. But it is interesting because we have everything from we have business office technology and medical office technology, which makes sense in that division.
Right.
And that's people that want to run offices for all different kinds of offices. But we also have like cosmetology, which is
yes.
it's still business,
Right.
That's kind of, I guess that's one of the things that is common across our division. Is a lot of our programs are when you graduate, even like our guys, like when you graduate, a lot of them will go work for a company. But then a lot of them will go work for themselves.
Okay.
As freelance, as small business, as independent, whatever. So that's true for us. That's true for cosmetologists. They essentially work for themselves. We also have the graphic design program, which is the same thing. A lot of their graduates can do freelance,
Yes.
make a living if they want to. So that's probably the common thing is it is all business. It's commerce related, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting.
It is, and every time you talk to me about it, it does. You can tell that you're interested in what you're talking about and doing,
Well, I've been
and
doing it
you've
for a
learned.
while, so
you have.
I've learned a lot. Well, yesterday, so we're actually going through our faculty evaluation process right now. So I'm having to go around and meet with everybody, which is great because it's just my annual gossip session with all of them.
Hey, that's what I do.
Yesterday, I had to go down to our culinary department, which is also in our division.
Right.
And
I was
there
gonna
again,
ask
it's just
that.
all over the place, But I happened to catch them on Fish Day, and so they were teaching them how to cook different types of fish, and then they would plate them, and then you try little bites, and you kind of critique and all this. So that was not on purpose, but I happened to catch them on Fish Day, and so I got to try all the different fish while I was down there. And
They do some amazing work over there.
And here's what I realized.
Yes.
The good fish is halibut.
Really?
Yes, halibut's very good. They have some halibut down there.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fun division. Like I said, we just cover so broad. Like we have a lot of students. Deb Nettles is our counselor, and she is awesome.
She is awesome.
And so a lot of times we have a student that they get to the MCC, they get to college, and they're not really sure what they want to do. And somehow or another, they end up finding their way to Miss Nettles. And she talks to them a little bit about what they're interested in. And sure enough, she'll say, hey, you know what? We have a program in this. And it's fun because you end up, finding people where they need to be and getting them on that track to be successful in life. Yeah, it's fun.
And yes, and where they can make a living.
Yep.
and still enjoy what they're doing,
Yep.
and they don't seem so lost.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, this program that you're in charge of, though, it has changed considerably
It
from
has.
when you started. I
Yes,
believe.
and I've been doing this for a while, but when I got here, we were all tape to tape editing, which is it's like making the old school mixtape back in high
Yes.
school. We were doing videotape like that when I got here. I haven't seen a videotape in years. Like, we're all digital now. But the other big change for us has been we used to be geared towards primarily television and radio production. Well, the skill set has changed now. And so now we've gotten into, just yesterday I had my sophomores in class, they do every Wednesday, they're doing podcasts now.
Right.
And which is great. I was going to tell you, they're actually doing, one podcast they're working on is we're doing like a live theater kind of thing. So they have a script, and it's like, if you think about an old school, like radio theater of the mind kind of thing.
Yes.
They're doing like radio theater in a podcast, which is fascinating.
This was yesterday?
We're doing it every Wednesday. They're in the
Okay.
studio doing that.
Did they have fun, or they?
Yeah. Well, I've got some knuckleheads in there too, so they have a blast with it. But
Okay.
that's fun. And then, of course, our freshmen that produce this show every week.
Yes.
Just this
They
week.
make me look good.
When were y'all here? Tuesday this week. We've started. We have a fairly new class for us, which is social media production. And in that particular class, we've started working on YouTube, as far as all the students are building out their own channels and how do you set up all the settings and what are you uploading, which is something we never would have thought of
Not in a
6
million
years ago.
years, yeah.
But now that's become just a standard skill. As a media producer, that's a standard skill set now. So that's something we do, and they're having fun with it too.
So when they finish this degree, it's a 2-year degree.
2-year degree.
When they finish this degree, can they go on to get a 4-year degree if they
Yes,
want to?
and it's about 50-50. So some will go straight into industry or freelance or do it. They'll go straight to work, and that's great. That's kind of traditionally what the degree is designed for people to get in and get out and get paid. But we do have the other option, which a lot of our students do, where they can go on to a 4-year, and it used to be where we would have to work out individual articulation agreements with specific universities. But now, within the last few years, at least all the state universities, and it's starting to grow nationwide as well, the 4 years are offering a BAS degree,
Okay.
which is a Bachelor of Applied Science. And it's a standard, normal bachelor's degree. But what it is for a student that, for instance, would come out of my program and would have gen ed credits, but also would have a lot of these technical credits that normally 4 years would have trouble with. With that BAS, essentially they can take all their credits now, and then they go 2 more years and they can get a BAS degree, which at the end of the day, it's a bachelor's degree.
Sure.
There's very little difference between a BA and a BAS.
Right.
But it gives that option now because we have so many students that come through these programs. And what I see happen a lot is they come through our 2-year programs, our associate degree programs, and then they may go straight into industry.
Sure.
When it's 4 or 5 years down the road, and they say, well, I think I may want to come back and go ahead and finish up my bachelor's. And so the universities have recognized that, and now they have that option where a student can do that.
Will finishing up their bachelor's open up even more doors for them?
Yeah, well, and it's kind of specific to the industry, but with our industry specifically, if you associates is all you really need, but to get foot in the door. On down the road, what I see happen some is that people that have been in the industry for years and are getting into some higher level promotions opportunities, they may be in a position where they may need a bachelor's, but it kind of depends on the industry. Our
And a
industry's
lot of
more
times it
wide
is
open.
also the 2-year degree and then experience.
A 2-year experience, and
And
that's
will
what
get you.
And that's why we do all this hands-on with ours, because they graduate with an associate's degree, and they can say, "Well, I've done a weekly show, I've done live stream of ball games, I've done all this stuff that they count as actual real world."
So this is a program. If you definitely don't want to do the same thing all the time,
Yeah.
this is what you want to be in.
Well, and I've told you the story. I spent a summer as a roofer, and it lasted 4 hours. Monday at lunch on the first day, I said, "Nope, this isn't going to work."
Nope.
So it's great for, I say, people like me. Like, it's just, there's a certain, like, just like our students here, like, people find it and they just go, "Oh, this is what I've been looking for." Yeah, we have fun. It's a fun program.
Listen, thank you for being
Yeah.
on the show today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC.
And we are here with the wonderful Miss Nedra Bradley. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Lowell?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It has been an interesting week. I think you've had an interesting week.
Yes.
Now you are in a new position.
Yes.
Okay. Now for 40 million years, you were head
Plus
of
one.
plus one. You were head of financial aid.
Yes.
Okay. And then was it last year or year before last?
Last year.
Okay.
July 1 of last year, Dr. Gathens created a position for parent services and student support. So I was made executive director of that department of one.
Okay, yes, executive director of a department of one. Now, what exactly does your department do? Or are you still fleshing that out?
Well, some of the things we are still working out, but the main purpose of this position is to provide parents a advocate and a liaison for while their students are here on campus.
Okay.
So to have that point person that they can come to when they have questions about things that's going on, if they're trying to find out solutions for their students. As you said, I've been here 40 million plus 1 years. So I kind of learned a lot about the different departments on campus through financial aid. So having a little bit of knowledge about everything kind of just makes you dangerous. So trying to help those parents navigate the waters while their student is here. So if they have questions and need information, need to find different resources and things like that, I am that point person. So anytime a student is having issues and things like that, they can contact me, the parents can contact me, and I can kind of help them. If not, give them the information, I can point them in the direction that they need to go.
And one of the things that sometimes we have to make clear about to parents is that because most of their children are above 18 years old, there's only so much we can tell
Correct.
them without their child's permission.
Right. So we always try to tell those parents to make sure your student fills out that FERPA release form, and that releases that information, any type of information that they want someone else to know, to whoever they designate. So it doesn't have to be a parent.
Right.
It can be any family member, anybody that they know. It could be a church member, anything, someone in the community that's helping them while they're here in school. So anyone that they want, as long as they're listed on that FERPA release form, we can talk to them about that student's information. Otherwise, that student has to be with them in order for us to give any information. And the student has to tell us, okay, it's okay to talk to me about this certain thing while they're here.
Why do you think it's important for us to have this executive director's position and for us to reach out to the parents like we are now doing?
Right.
And first off, let me just say, I think it's a long time coming.
Yes.
I think we have needed this for a while.
Right.
And I'm glad that you're in the position because
Yes.
you are uniquely qualified for this.
Well, the thing is, a lot of times parents, even though your child is in college and they're considered an, quote, adult, they still need that, right. They still need that parent support.
Sure.
Parents are usually footing the bill for it. So if they need to know when the student needs to be, if students telling them, hey, I need this money for this, or I need to figure out how to get registered for classes, but they don't give parents all the information that they need in order to help them make those decisions. So
Yeah.
this position is kind of in that place to help those parents. We send out a monthly parent newsletter, so anyone who wants to sign up to get that monthly parent newsletter, they can just go online. We have it's at meridiancc.edu/parentinfo.
Okay.
And they can fill out, it takes about a minute to fill out. And it gives their email address and asks a couple of questions, about things that they may want to see on campus, any information that they may want us to send, and we'll send them that, add them to the email list, and I send that parent newsletter out once a month to those that are subscribed to that list. So, just so they'll know the important dates that's coming up. Parents need to know when midterms are coming up.
Yes.
Parents need to know that finals are coming up.
Yes.
We have different services on campus that students can use. Student support with tutoring with your department. We have also things for like the food pantry. We have counseling service where students can go and have visits from Weans and psychology associates. Parents need to know about that because if they're going to provide the students the support that they need while they're here in school in order to be successful, they need to know what's available for those students.
And I think this is good in that I remember 40 million years ago when I came, I was the first person in my family to come
Right.
to college. And we simply didn't know and didn't know who to ask, didn't know anything like that. So this is so important
Yes.
because, you know, you go to, it can be overwhelming. There is so much to it. Now, once you get into it and you're like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, and have someone explain it to you, you're like,
Yes.
okay, this is doable.
Right.
And it is doable.
Right.
But it is good to have someone there to show you the way.
Yes.
And do you find that we're giving more support now than we did, say, 10, 15 years ago?
Yes, lots more support. And not only with the parents, this position also is providing student support because sometimes students just don't know where to go. You know, they have questions and they may be, like you say, we have a lot of first generation students and a lot of students who are navigating these waters on their own. They don't have anybody to look up to or ask questions to. So I kind of provide that support too. Have a lot of commuter students that don't have, you know, they get to classes and then somebody may drop them off. What are they going to do all the rest of the time? You know, provide them support. So we're trying to get services for those students also. So we have a commuter student or committee that we formed that are doing things to provide services for those students. Coming up for midterms, we have what we're calling midterm madness. You know, play on March Madness. You get where I got right there. So we have our midterm madness event on March the 7th.
Okay.
And that's going to be in Ivy Skaggs Hall. It's going to have information the student can receive about different resources that we have here on campus. There'll be some games, door prizes. We'll offer a little few snacks and things like that. Just something to provide students that support and let them know what's available for them doing midterms. Midterms and finals are stressful for students.
Very stressful. Yes.
Especially for our commuter students, you know, because they can't go back to the dorm and study. They don't have they may need that extra granola bar in the morning time because they don't get a breakfast. They can't get to the cafeteria. They can't afford to go to the cafeteria. So we're trying to provide services and things like that for students of that nature. So
we want them to stay in. We want them to get their degree. So we are going as far as we possibly can.
Because
to do
once
that.
you recruit them, that's not the final step.
It is not.
Once you get them here, you still have to provide that support for them to be able to leave here and become productive students of our community. So. And
I say this to some of the students who are doing their prereqs for some of the programs to get in. And so they've done all the prereqs and then they get in the program and I say, now the hard stuff begins.
Right.
You know, that was just the preliminary stuff. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, this is what you want to do.
Yes.
We want to help you get there.
Right.
So I think this partnership is really good. I think you are just the best person for it.
Well, thank you.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for being here today. Now, when did you say March Madness is again?
March the 7th in Ivy Skaggs Mall from 10 to 1.
Okay, and if a parent wants information and to be signed up for that
they can go
newsletter.
to meridiancc.edu/parentinfo.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bradley.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first, while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we are here with the wonderful Miss Tanisha Clark. Thank you for agreeing to be in the hot seat.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, your official title is?
Media specialist.
You are our media specialist.
Yes.
And you have been working here at MCC for how long now?
About almost 8 months now.
How's it going?
It's going well. I'm really liking it here.
Okay, come on now, tell me some dirt on your boss.
Well, let me tell you, I'm just kidding.
Now, Tanisha is one of our executive producers here at MCC Today to make the show run as smoothly as it does. So previously you were at the television station?
Yes,
here
I
in
was
town?
at WTOK for about 4 years. I started as a production assistant part-time, and then I worked my way up to be a full-time producer.
And now you are teaching, you are molding young lives.
Yes, I am.
Behind the camera.
Yep.
How is that going?
It's going great. Like, I have a good bunch of students here. They're amazing. They keep me on my toes. They make me laugh. I make them laugh. I try to. I don't know. I don't think I do a good job at that.
I think you do a good job of that.
But it's really good to be part of, you know, involving the youth. So.
And they're going to get a degree out of this,
Yes.
and hopefully will be able to go out and get gainful employment.
Yes.
Now, you actually came through the program here, right?
Yes, I did.
Like 2 years ago? 3?
Put him on the spot. More like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I graduated 2013 from the media production program.
Okay.
And
okay.
then I went to Southern.
Okay, and you finished up your bachelor's degree?
Yes.
Okay, and then you decided you went to the television station and then came here.
Right here.
And we are benefiting from all of your knowledge.
Yes, it got full circle.
Okay. What have you noticed about students and the production values that we have here? Are you having any issues with getting them up to par on stuff? I've never noticed it.
Never. They're doing good. Like, I don't have to, they're taking it in really
Okay.
good. So it's totally different from when I was here.
Okay.
Because they have a whole new setup and
You're-
everything. And
right.
it's learning for me too, because we're learning together, kind of.
You have to stay up to date
Yes.
on everything. How difficult is that? Because I'm not up to date. You know, I really
Yeah.
am not.
It depends on the person. Like, if you're into tech and you're always learning, it's very simple for you. But if it's something like you're not used to it, it's kind of hard to get up to.
Sure.
But I think with this generation, since they grew up in technology, it's really easy for them to pick it right up, and it's no lag or anything.
Now, for our show, we have the freshman students
Yes.
behind the camera and working in the control room and everything like that.
I hear them now.
I hear them now too. But the sophomores, they go off and do the podcasting and some of the other stuff, right?
Like little packages,
They're
videos.
allegedly little packages that we haven't seen any of these packages.
But they do packages for the TV show, and they help out with sports games, streaming, and all that stuff. Like, it's all of them, but freshmen learn the basic during their freshman year, and then the sophomores put that into play.
Well, where do you see any changes coming within the next 5 years or so? Do you see anything else? Because we're doing podcasts, we're doing streaming, we're doing where they're doing their YouTube channels and all of that. What else? What else do you think is coming for us?
It's really hard to say, because it's ever evolving. You don't know what comes up next, because when I was here, we were just learning how to shoot videos for like TV or something. But now it's like you have to learn how to do YouTube, social media. You really can't say where it's going. You won't know until it happens. So it's no telltale sign of like where it's going to go next.
You're starting out with this, and you're doing the media, and you're doing the streaming, and you're doing all of this. What about you personally? Do you enjoy teaching?
I do. I really do. It's funny because I never thought I would be in this position to teach. It wasn't there, but when it was presented to me, I take it as a great opportunity. Like, it's something that I feel like if I didn't go into this space, I wouldn't know that I love teaching and helping mold the younger generation. So
I remember a million years ago, there was no way I was going to be a teacher. Oh, I was not going to do it. No, 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 no. And, needing to eat is,
Exactly.
it pushes you. But I started teaching, and I cannot imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself maybe doing more of the teaching as much as you possibly can?
As much as I possibly can. Yeah.
Okay, and the students, behind the scenes and giggling and
Hopefully not
because
making fun
they
of
do.
me.
They're not, but they got their phones out,
Oh no.
videotaping. No. You do a wonderful job, and I think you've been a great asset here.
Thank you.
And I know I've put you on the spot many times.
Many times.
But it's a good thing.
Like right now.
No. This is what happens when you don't have a third guest, and you're like, come on, get on up here.
Next time if this happens, we'll get one of the students to do it.
I think they should.
Oh, somebody's happy.
There was a student 2 years ago that kept telling me that he wanted my job, and I was like, Okay. Okay. Well, listen, Tanisha, I know I put you on the spot, but you are a great executive producer here.
Thank you.
And I know the students love you. I love you, but thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
On behalf of executive producers Tanisha Clark and Matt Milner, media mogul Josh Taylor, and student producer Hayden Anthony, thank you for watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and we'll see you next week.